Liz Truss, when Nord Stream pipeline took place, can you type in when Nord Stream pipeline happened, Rob? If you just type in Nord Stream pipeline
About to get right into it, guys.
event, Nord Stream pipeline event happened when? Okay, so this is getting very interesting for me. Very, very interesting. When did Boris step down? September 6, 2022. When does Nord Stream pipeline happen? September 26, 2022. 3 weeks later. Okay. Who do they blame? Russia. What does she text? It's done. Okay. Then Wall Street Journal comes out with this article, if you want to pull this up, and Americans are like sitting there saying, and by the way, for the audience that's watching this, you can pull up and see who Liz Truss is so they know who Liz Truss is. Rob, if you can just Google and see who Liz Truss is so we can explain to everybody who Liz Truss is and to audience tracking. So she was the British politician who served as Prime Minister of UK for 1 month. Literally, folks, 1 month. September to October 2022. So then she texts, it's done. Then Wall Street Journal comes out with this article September 28th. We're supposed to believe a drunken evening, a rented yacht, the real story of the Nord Stream pipeline sabotage. A private businessman funded the shoestring operation, which was overseen by top general. President Zelensky approved the plan, then tried to unsuccessfully call it off, but it was too late. Are we really supposed to believe this story? Or is there another story you have to tell us what really happened here?
I have deep sympathy towards Britain, British people, British culture. I've been brought up in that. My family has been brought up on British literature. But all I know about Great Britain, 20 plus years of political military analysis, it shows that their historical goal is not to allow union between Russia and continental Europe, especially Germany. Their whole history of external politics of United Kingdom shows that their main goal is not to allow the union between Germany and Russia. I do not know who exploded the Nordstream. Now, officially, unofficially, Ukraine is blamed.
We know.
There is an investigation done by Germany, Russians. Putin says that there's some Anglo-Saxon did it. I do not know anything about Britain's role, perhaps, in that explosion and sabotage, but I do know that this event could not be outside of Britain's interest, even if the Great Britain did not inspire it or conspired it or got involved. Remember that Great Britain before that created a whole bloc of northern countries, Sweden, Finland, Denmark, Netherlands, friends of Ukraine, and their main interest was to restrain Russia and the Baltic Sea and the Baltic theater. What really took place there is one of the biggest and most interesting questions in this war that still needs to be investigated, but I don't have even the least of data and suppositions of what happened there. I do not know at all.
You don't?
Не знаю вообще.
Не знаю. Okay. All right. I know what не знаю is. So, okay, maybe let me ask another question on this. What chance do you think it was Russia behind Nord Stream pipeline?
Что
That Russia themselves exploded that?
Yes.
I think that's non-existent. They would be the last people interested in that.
Da. Okay, 0. Okay, no problem. What percentage, speculation, purely speculating, that, Ukraine was behind it?
Well, I would allow that it could be
No.
20%.
Okay. How about U.S. influencing?
There you go. There you go.
I think that, let's put it this way, NATO state, 80% that they're somehow this way or the other are involved in this story. Obviously, it was not Germany, which is the least interested party.
Okay. So, will we ever find out?
I think someday we will. But this could be in 70 years.
70?
But these are the terms of declassifying documents. 70, 80 years.
In 7 or 8 years or 70?
70.
Есть у
Every
каждого
state
be
has a-
116 years old.
Да,
Yes.
у
I
каждого
can't believe
государства
country
есть
has
сроки
Why
засекречения.
are you doing
terms
this to
for declassifying. It depends on the goodwill and what game they're playing.
Yeah, for me, I'm interested to know, what's going on there.
It
It could be much earlier. could be much earlier. Look, if they create a system of collective security in Europe, a new system, it can be only created by politicians with new vision, and these politicians will be interested in definitely cut ties with the past. It means that they will be also interested in exposing to the maximum the truth about the past, and this can happen within a much shorter term than 70 years.
If you've seen the clip with Tucker Carlson and Putin, you know Putin says that he believes it was U.S. that was behind it. Have you seen that clip?
When he said specifically America?
He
I heard
believes
that they were talking about Anglo-Saxon something, keeping in mind both Britain and the USA.
Rob, can you pull up that clip? It could be, yes. It could be that it's both. But if you want to play this clip with Tucker and Putin.
Nordstream.
You for sure.
I was busy that day. Nate, do you have I did not blow up Nordstream. Thank you, though.
У вас лично, может быть, есть алиби, у вас лично.
You personally may have an alibi, but the CIA has no such alibi.
Do you have evidence that NATO or the CIA did it?
Вы знаете,
You know, I won't get into details, but people always say in such cases, look for someone who is interested. But in this case, we should not only look for someone who is interested, but also for someone who has capabilities. Because there may be many people interested, but not all of them are capable of sinking to the bottom of the Baltic Sea and carrying out this explosion. These two components should be connected. Who is interested and who is capable of doing it?
But I'm confused. I mean, that's the biggest act of industrial terrorism ever, and it's the largest emission of CO2 in history. Okay, so if you had evidence, and presumably given your security services, your intel services, you would, that NATO, the US, CIA, the West did this, why wouldn't you present it and win a propaganda victory?
In the war of propaganda, it is very difficult to defeat the United States because the United States controls all the world's media and many European media. The ultimate beneficiary of the biggest European media are American financial institutions.
Rob, you
Don't
can
you know
stop it
that?
at this point.
I have a different explanation.
What was that?
Because these are actions against one the main member of the Union of the ES, who is going to announce it, even if it was a victory.
Okay, I don't know what this guy's talking about, but this was a significant event that honestly I think was one of the main reasons that led for the Russian invasion of Ukraine, where the Russian supply route to other nations that were transporting natural gas to Denmark, Germany, Sweden was literally cut off, was sabotaged by an unknown force, you know, and we obviously know who it was and who would have interest in doing that to cripple the Russian economy, which it did, you know, and Russia launched a few investigations here and there, you know, nobody had anything to say. Eventually something got leaked where the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, who served for a month, right, texted a high-ranking official saying that this was done during the day that this occurred. So they've leaked text messages. This caused European gas prices to jump 12%. It had one of the largest environmental impact of gas plumes in the water columns with methane. It's like a potent greenhouse gas that was very toxic, and you know, and Putin knew who it was. This ass clown is still thinking that, you know, who else would be more interested in crippling Russia's economy and ensuring that they don't dominate any type of, you know, trade or transportation within the EU than them boys, man. It is what it is. Shout out to PBD for pointing this out, man, bringing this guy on, because this is an important thing that people overlook. An event that took place that led to Russia to invade Ukraine, essentially, you know.